So a video has just come to my attention that I kind of just want to talk about. It's of Nicki Minaj talking to Ray J, someone I don't really know anything about. Um, but um, but yeah, she's just having an interview, and I think it's gone viral or something. But she randomly asks a question: "Who is your God?" And okay, it's brought up, sparked the attention of a lot of the followers that the YouTube followers that I'm following because or anything to do with God seems to spark their attention. And it being Nicki Minaj, who's very famous and stuff. So, but yeah, it's kind of brought a question to me, which is that this is the kind of question that I would love to ask everyone, and I think how they respond is a good indication on if they're on my side or not. If someone says that they think every god is God, and they refer to the God of Islam, or the God of the God Allah, or the God of Jesus, or Jesus himself. I feel like there's you can tell what kind of people worship by how they respond. If you say Jesus is a God, you're basically, your spirit is saying that you think man is God. You see man, humankind, the average person as being, or maybe the collective average person as being God. If you say that Allah is God, you're basically saying that the ways of Islam is, how God is something that God agrees with. Islam, they cover up women, and they have very strict rules about sexuality, and just everything I don't agree with. And therefore, if you ask someone which God, or whose God do you worship, or what God do you worship, and they respond, if either the God of Islam or the God of Allah, and okay, they might mention a bunch of names, but if they imply that this is something they all agree with, then they're not worshipping God. It's fine to say that I'm Allah in a sort of, I'm trying to reach out to Muslims, and if you say I believe in the God of the Bible, a lot of Muslims would hate you. If you start promoting me as being the God of the Bible, again, I'm not. I think there's a lot of different views on you know the gods of the Quran, and the gods of the Bible, and the gods of Jesus are all very, very different. The Bible clearly backs up 7 days stuff, and so if you say that if you respond by saying my God is the God of the Bible, then you're basically saying that I'm a sort of person that just believes all sorts of lies and shit as long as it's in the Bible. That's not my God. If I ask you which God do you worship, and you say the God of the Bible, then I feel like it's just you're telling me that you believe lies, you believe crap. If you say the God of Jesus, this doesn't necessarily link to the Bible, because a lot of people think that the Bible might not be that correct, and Jesus is a person who came to help inspire the Bible, but they see a lot of people who would say that they worship the God of Jesus often mean that they don't necessarily trust or rely on the Bible itself. They think that the Bible is just to work with Jesus, but the God of Jesus is, is basically, they base their beliefs on the principles of Jesus. The Ten Commandments are ridiculous. 10 Commandments. Don't steal is a good one. But yeah, to think that worshipping on the right day, or not having idols, or when you have Jesus as an idol, to think that the 10 Commandments are the real commandments kind of just shows that you're not really thinking about it. But yeah, there is going to be a time where people ask, whose God do you worship, and I think if you start saying the God of Islam, I feel like that's an indication that you basically are happy to worship a God that's absolutely nothing like me. If you say I worship the God of the Bible, then it means that you're able to believe in lies and crap, just whatever you don't care what you believe, as long as it's written in some old book full of nonsense. You're stuck in traditions, you're stuck in the past, you're stuck in in whatever people believed thousands of years ago, even though the world was so corrupt back then, and you're not able to believe that actually back in the past they didn't have the truth, they weren't smart. If you say that you worship just God and don't relate it to the Bible or don't relate it to Jesus, just the God, then I feel like that's probably more my type. Someone that's just saying, yeah, God has an influence in all religions, but yeah, and if you say, I don't know, there's lots of different interpretations of that, but yeah, there's going to be a time where people are probably going to say, might even start saying the God of Anna, but saying the God of Anna is very similar to saying, the God of Jesus. Anna is a person, Jesus is a person, and God is the God above both Jesus and Anna, and therefore, I feel like there might be a time where I'm accepted as Christ, but not as God, and therefore, when people ask them that question, who do you serve, or whose God do you serve, they might say the God of Anna, the God of Jesus, the God of Islam, the God of that. All these things are a false God, because I am God, and that is my interpretation of God, that it's me. So, yeah, I feel like, it's fine to say the God of Anna, but have you recognised the fact that Anna is God? I don't know. That's just a question that's just come into my head, and yeah. I don't think Ray J knows anything about me, but I can't be too critical, because has he been told about me? Probably not. I don't know. But yeah, how people were in the past, I don't think Nikki believed in me 10 years ago. I don't believe that Nikki did those songs to help me. I think she was trying to help herself, but, I've been ignored for so long that I hate everyone. I hate absolutely everyone, and I need people like Nikki because she's strong and stuff, but did she know about me 10 years ago? I don't know. I don't know what her path is, and therefore if there's people who are only finding out about me now or still don't know about me, do they think it's fine to sacrifice a lamb and have the blood sprayed all over you? I mean, that's pretty sick, but if you don't know me, you probably might think that's okay, but if you find out about me and then start realising that I am God, you might be like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say that crap again, because I'm not mad. But yeah, sometimes you have to be actually told about me for you to know about me. But yeah, I'm just really waiting for this time where I'm told. So that's, I think this is how I'll be told. I first want to start off very, very small, and just get just do a couple of lots and lots of YouTube video or YouTube small interactions where I just get all the YouTubers and just have a conversation with them about why I'm God and stuff, and then I can look like I'm found by a group of people. They want to help me, and they get publicity. I get publicity on July 1st, and then I spend kind of like a year living in a safe house with a group of people, expose myself as being Dala on August 14th, and expose myself as being a Leo October 10th, and then Halloween I give my views on who I think all the singers were in their past lives, and then just sit on it. Like, if the singers want to respond, they can do. If they want to deny it and say they don't believe, they can do. Just go with the flow, and I can just spend like a year recovering. But yeah, who is your God does need to be a question that's asked by a lot of people, and see how many people still worship Jesus, how many people still go to church, or how many people go to church and start asking about me. See who follows, who changes, who switches, who's just seeing me as just another Jesus, just another Christ, and who's actually, like, why the hell is she not talking? Why is she hiding? I'm going to be in hiding. Why? Because I don't like people because of what I've gone through. But yeah, I'd like just a group of people that can kind of help me, but they don't have to necessarily be that public about supporting or believing me. But I want a nice house and nice big wall all the way around the house, so that humans, I can have a big sign saying humans are not allowed in, and then make it clear that people who believe that I'm God can call themselves sprites. And if you're not, if you call yourself a human, that's a sign that you're not one of my people. And see who is happy to call themselves. It's weird how this Ray J called himself Manifest, or Manasapien, and he was talking about being manifested. And I was watching the Manifest film, which is about a group of people that have like this power to connect and talk. But yeah, I think what people might not realise is just because there's a voice in your head that leads you and guides you doesn't mean that it's giving you the right information, because a lot of people seem to have some sort of thing in their head that's leading them in a certain direction. But I've noticed that this thing seems to lead them in the wrong direction too, because most of these people worship the God of the Bible and do a bunch of things that I don't agree with. Like promoting the idea of sacrificing a lamb and having the blood drip over it. I mean, it's not a great thing, but I don't know. There needs to be a year where I say that I'm God and people know me, and I can have a team of billionaires. You need to have a good team around you, but at the same time I want to look like I'm on my own, and that the people around me are helping me but not really, or helping me but only as a sort of kind of sacrifice. That's what I had a vision of Ariana, how she was kind of treated like she was like a daughter of one of the main priests of this big tribe, and they treated her like a princess for a year or something, and then they sacrificed her as. But yeah, I think I see it as being something like that, where I'm treated like a princess in like, I like the idea of that, being treated like a princess in some sort of big mansion with some sort of massive wall around and a ton of security. And I guess I would like it to seem that a bunch of billionaires are kind of supporting me. Why? Because billionaires help keep the economy going, and people don't want the economy to crash. People don't want. I think people do see. The doctor that I was speaking to on the walk talked about Elon and saying that he's like a genius and stuff like that. And but yeah, I think if people do have a lot of respect for people that have a lot of money, because they see them as being like, obviously making the right decisions and stuff. So I guess I would like a team of billionaires to not necessarily support me, but yes, support me, but not support me, but also look like they're on the side of the humans. So like talk and act and be like a human and support the humans, but also say that there's obviously something strange going on with me, and has been for a long time. But yeah, I'm going to make it clear that I've been trying to tell people for 11 years, and no one's taking any interest, or no one's responding to me, and I don't know why. And that is the reason why I'm so angry, and so I'm going to use that as an excuse as to why I don't want to talk to people. But yeah, not too sure what's going on with the Diddy case, but I know that there are a lot of people that would make allegations against others, and if they can, and them thinking that he's in prison might just be more incentive to make more and more lawsuits. But yeah, I was told there was supposed to be 120 and only about 14 have come out, and most of them have been denied because people weren't willing to give their names, which is ridiculous. How can you make a lawsuit against someone and yet not reveal your name? If you're making a lawsuit against someone and you don't want the person that you're making a lawsuit against to even know who you are, I feel like that's just obvious sign that you're lying, or you're covering it up, and you don't, you're trying to hide who you are because you don't want to embarrass yourself, or you don't want the other person to say things that would prove you wrong. It's crazy that Murad guy was just like, if they don't want to if they don't want to expose their name, they don't have to. And it's just like, what are you talking about? If someone was accusing you of doing terrible things, of course you would want to know who's done it. But yeah, I don't know. I want this to start, and it's been so long. If you're paralyzed though, and you can't move your body, but you get an itch on your nose, like, isn't that such a horrible thing? I've been thinking about that today. I kind of feel paralyzed, but I'm not. If I've got an itch on my nose, I'll be able to scratch it. And it makes me think, if you're paralyzed and you want to itch your nose and you can't, like, seriously, if you get an itch and you feel like, I've got an itch right now, I want to scratch my head, and just not scratching it, it's like, it bothers you. Like, how can you be paralyzed and not like get that scratch or that itch? I mean, isn't that's absolutely awful? Wouldn't that be like just torture? Or do paralyzed people not get a sensation to scratch their nose or something? Like, I think that's absolutely torture. If you've got an itch and you need to scratch and you can't move your arms, like, do you just like feel in pain or something because of it? Something that I'm wondering. The parents were being really insulting towards the partner that was being controlling and abusive and dictating her whole life, and yet whilst they were saying that, she had spent 3 years living in rehab resuscitation, where people were literally doing exactly that, literally controlling her, like literally doing everything, feeding her, keeping her alive, keeping her motivated, and literally controlling every aspect of her life. And yet the parents were insulting the partner. I mean, I think what the care workers were doing is far more controlling, far more abusive. But they don't see it like that because she's lost her ability to make decisions for herself. But instead of seeing these people as maybe it is better for them to go, instead of seeing it that way, they'll just see it as, oh, we can't, that's murder, it's against morals or whatever. These people don't have morals. These people don't know what it's like to be in that position.